you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are these things. Welcome to 16 years, going on 17 years of the Chris Voss Show. Over 2,600 episodes are bringing you 48 new shows a month. Nobody does what we do, the Netflix of podcasting. We bring you so much stuff. You can binge just about anything you want, or you can just binge the show beginning to end, but you got so much content. You don't need more podcasts. You only need one. Refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Facebook.com/Chris Voss, YouTube.com/Chris Voss, and all those crazy places on the internet. Today we have an amazing young man on the show. We're going to be talking about his exciting adventures of life. He's one of those jack of all trades, Renaissance mans. One of those people who's he has ADHD like I do, so he's into everything. He's an amazing young author who's launched his first book. It's out December 6, 2024, called Quiet Before the Storm by Randall Crow. We're going to get into it with him and find out his amazing stories of his amazing life and some of the memoirs of his Austin firefighting journey. Welcome to the show, Randall. How are you?
Doing great, Chris. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want to add, the book's been out. It's been out. It's out right now. Mm-hmm. My goal here, this part of it, is to first of all introduce it to everybody, mm-hmm. but also to get it stocked in some places in a timely fashion. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been out since last year.
There you go.
And but without your help, I doubt I'll sell many of them. I don't. My subject matter is not actually the kind that draws the big backers. It may go counter to a lot of things that we're being fed. But I'm trying to get to align with the group of people I do come from. And if you like some of those alternative podcasts, you probably like mine.
There you go. So, Randall, give us any .coms or social media you want people to look you up, maybe to get you know better, or emails, et cetera, et cetera.
Randall Crow on X and Randall Crow on Facebook. Randall Scott Crow is my public figure page on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Covers all the acting stuff that we've done in the past. But also RC Anon on Telegram.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give us a 30,000 overview of what's inside your book.
30,000 foot overview. Well, we're benefiting Canines for Warriors, and there's a good reason for that, in that Canines for Warriors addresses PTSD. It's one of the ways to treat PTSD. When you go into my subject matter, you're going to see poetry that's based on true stories in the order that they happen. Short story, there's a script in the middle of it that all generated PTSD. And so the Canines for Warriors, my dog is a spokes dog. He's on page 4. His name is Shiner. Mm-hmm. And I've got him. We just searched the Guadalupe after the Independence Day flood, and he wanted me to show you this. Take about 5 seconds.
Oh, go ahead. Shoot it.
That's a good boy. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. Let's go. Let's find that body. Find it. Where is it? Where's Hannah? Where's Hannah? Where's Kevin? Get him. So there's a little bit of he's a companion dog, but he's also search and rescue. I'm a hunting guide, and so when we have someone shoot something that we can't find, he finds it. And we got a mile of the Guadalupe to search below the Ingram Dam. Ingram Fire Department put us on duty, and we were honored. And in a way, the title of this book is taken several ways. Quiet before the storm, geopolitically. Okay. We heard Trump say calm before the storm. Geopolitically, it hadn't been calm or quiet at all, but it's probably relative to what's going to happen or what is happening now, relatively quiet. Also, direct interpretation of weather, storms. The storms I have documented, the wreckage from those storms is certainly, there was anomalies in them. I don't agree with the global warming deal, but I don't make you make the choice as a reader. I just show it. But literally, the storms got worse since this came out. Helene, Shiner and I went to Helene. We also went to the Guadalupe, and so there's a lot of layers in just the title. The quiet, the Q in the quiet is a dog whistle to the Q movement.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
and in my perspective basically comes out of there. And
Okay.
Now that we have all these different realities floating around, I'm not asking you to buy mine, but I would ask you to look at it and make your own choice.
There you go. So, Quiet Before the Storm, you talk about some of the devastating hurricanes like Ike, Michael, ones that were in Garland, Texas, Dallas, Mayfield, Kentucky, and the record-breaking flash flood in Wimberley, Texas.
Yep.
And I guess you, as a firefighter, attended these storms or attended the emergency requirements of these storms, people?
These went to as a FEMA volunteer in the Wimberley flood. I was a public adjuster, a Texas public adjuster, had my own firm, and I worked 30 days to help people get their life back after the Wimberley storm. As an adjuster, I have to be a photographer. So I collected over 20 years all these photos that many of them show inconsistencies and are proof in themselves of something else other than an act of God being involved with the weather. But I'm not, I put that out there. But I got out of the Austin Fire Department in 1995. I go to these disasters as a public adjuster. And but when something like this last Guadalupe or the Tennessee Hurricane Helene, I go back to volunteer firefighting. And
there you go.
Yeah.
And you've done that.
Really,
you've done quite a few things. So just to lay a foundation here, you've been an Austin firefighter and a Texas licensed public insurance adjuster. So you've seen, a lot of the wreckage, a lot of the miracles and profound moments of despair and hope through your camera lenses you've seen as you discussed it. And so what are people going to find in the book? It looks like there's photographs, reflections on the interconnectedness of lives and the forces of nature that shape them. I guess you were kind of at that juxtaposition of seeing that all take place.
Yes, it is an odd, when the first time I went to Ike was about my first huge disaster. And something that takes you back is, hey, God put all this wreckage here and he arranged it in a certain way. And through a camera lens, if you frame it just right, you're shooting art, and so I definitely couldn't resist the photos to study many things about the wreckage that people need to kind of look at. Also, the people that are there are the situation they're in when you get there. They're real glad to hear any advice on what to do. And many times as an adjuster, I'll say, hey, whether you hire me or not, your claim is so complicated. I want you to get a public adjuster because they will double or triple your result. And but that's the spirit that I do it in. It's involved a lot of travel and it's caused me to be able to continue firefighting in a way. I'm not squirting water, but I am causing money to happen to help recover. But I was an actor in Austin out of the fire department. We had some time off during the week. So I pursued when the films were all being made in Austin, I certainly got involved. And they actually asked me to move to California when I went out there to an agent and said, hey, here's my resume. I just want to audition for stuff that comes through Texas. Oh, no, you need to move out here. I said, why? Well, we have these parties we want you to go to.
The Hollywood Hills?
Yeah, maybe a Diddy party or a Hefner.
Oh, there you go.
All the girls that I knew in the business that went out there, they all had to go through the Hefner. They had to be in the Hefner place or they weren't going to get anywhere. So now as we look at this now, you can see, first of all, some of those movies weren't correct. Some of that history wasn't right. And what it tells me is we have a renaissance coming as the truth finally makes it to us, where history will have to be redone. And there will be a set of people who can't change their mind unless they see it in a movie. So here, all right, I'm happy to help. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So in the book, tell us a little bit about your journey through life. Just give us a run through, like how long were you a firefighter for, some of these different fields you got into, and mainly the stuff that's connected into the book, so we can kind of give people an interest in what they're going to be reading and buying.
Cool. And going, okay. When I first started as a firefighter, I would see stuff immediately when I'm 20 or 22 years old going, man, I never seen that before. And I was a big reader as a kid. I always dreamed of doing a book, someday. Well, I started looking at stuff and remembering things over the years. And now it's time to start putting it down on paper. And in the process, there have been, I learned about poetry actually being a way to handle pain and emotional pain. It helps you. There are things in life that you see that you don't want to forget, but you don't want to carry them around every day. And if you can capture that and put it on paper, you can store that emotion right there and give yourself some relief from the trauma.
You bring up a good point. That's a great thing that writing is good for, right?
Oh, yeah.
You bring up a really good point. That's something that is really important. We've had psychologists on the show, and they found that when people write, it really can help them with understanding, their emotions. It can help get it out on the page. I remember, we talked before the show. I have really bad ADHD. I think you do too, OCD.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times at night, I would find myself just laying in bed, tossing and turning, thinking about, something I'm trying to remember for tomorrow. Oh, remember to do this tomorrow, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And it used to drive me crazy. And I realized what my brain was doing was trying to, make it so I would not forget.
Yep.
And I found that by just getting up, writing it down on, keeping a notepad and paper, or for me now it's the phone. I just write an email to myself. Hey, remember to pick up the milk at the store, whatever. And so, or ideas that I have, like, you get those entrepreneurial innovative ideas and you go, hey, but, and so, there you go. So people can read about some of these stories and adventures in your book. What's a favorite story that we want to pick out of it, maybe, to talk about?
It's kind of going to be the flagship poem that this poem I got on Alex Jones with it years ago.
Oh, wow.
And he let me read it a couple of times to his full audience. And the things in the poem, actually, much has occurred. That wasn't, there's a prophetic aspect to the poem and the book in general. And it was given to me immediately. I had an issue with, it was a mass shooting in Connecticut. And the next day, this thing came out on the page. And that was 2011. This is actually called The Shots of Things That Are Still Happening. I'd love to do a short dramatic read, if that'll work.
Sure, go ahead.
A page.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. And it's called We're Going to Need Each Other. We're going to need each other before it's all through. It just is what it is for me and for you. Now, I always did everything all on my own, proud of accomplishments earned all alone. Now the tides and the seasons have certainly changed, and a new world order has been rearranged. The strong are now weak, and the weak weaker still, and the cup runneth over, much harder to fill. The emperors are walking around wearing no clothes, and they're telling us, sorry, that's just how it goes. While they're beating our plowshares into their swords, our little girls get shot at in grocery stores. Now, fighting each other can't be what we do because we'll be needing each other before it's all through. I'm no longer living my life in the past, and you can't throw stones in a house made of glass. The emperor tells us the money's all gone, but don't worry, kids, we'll take out a loan. Please give us your best and we'll send them to war. Don't worry yourselves about what it's all for. The emperor's leaving. He's taking his clothes, saying, sorry, y'all. That's just how it goes. King says the problems are not what they seem. It's time you wake up from your American dream. Well, we're going to need each other before it's all through, because the forces against us are not me and you. The Wizard of Oz on the yellow brick road says, don't worry yourselves, just do as you're told. We'll print some more money and we'll buy some more food while we keep on telling you what you should do. Okay, so where to go? Okay, I'm getting real tired. Heard this all before. I'm starting to worry about what is in store. Reality is getting much harder to see. I thought I got that from the man on TV. I can see that the news isn't news anymore when the only news left is a football team score. The words fell out on my paper today, and you asked me, so what are you trying to say? Okay, when you ask me, okay, so what should we do? We're going to need each other before it's all through. So that once that came out, there was a responsibility with that, and my making this book is part of it. Thank you, God, because it came out instantly. And when something like that happens to me, I look for reasons and look for guidance on what to do with it. So there it sits in this book. Yes, sir.
There you go. And I think I cut you off a little bit on, we were talking about your bio and upbringing. I think there was a point that I wanted to make that sounded really good. Do you remember where we were at on that?
My bio and upbringing?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, some of the things you did, we talked about in the book, yeah.
The very first opening deal is called Bully Proof, and each of the things in this book are points where my life changed forever from then on. And the Bully Proof was the very first time in third grade we'd moved to California from Texas. Those kids were mean. They wanted to beat me up. And my Marine Corps dad took me aside and got me a speed bag, showed me what to do. And he used to talk about me beating the two bullies up in our front yard like it happened yesterday. But that was the first point where I was scared. And the thing that I see now where they say, oh, you might want to consider changing your gender orientation if you are being picked on by bullies. And my answer to that is no. If you figure out your best thing to do with the bully, number one, fight him. You might lose, you might win, but life is a bully. And if you don't fight that bully, it will affect everything you do after this. And once I did fight the bully, I was shocked. It was two of them, and none of them laid a hand on me after my old man showed me the moves to make, and it shocked me. But from then on, I was no longer afraid of that. And so each one of these poems has a point of demarcation where there was something came up and he faced it, or there was a loss came up that was so horrendous that we still made it. I have one about AA. It's called The Little Pink House on Bolden Avenue. It's about a real group in Austin that is one of the ones responsible for me waking up and finding more of myself than I thought was there. It showed me, gave a self-awareness. I didn't realize. It also said, hey, dude, you have done a lot in your life, but there's so much more that you can do. This book in itself, there's 12 steps in that program I'm in. The 13th step is to date somebody in the program. I've done that. But
really?
The 14th step ought to be write a book about how you were, what happened, and how you are now. And that's what this book's about, because that's in there too. So there's a little bit, if you need to learn CPR, I've got a couple of stories that we teach.
Oh, wow.
I used to call a cadence with my second cadet class about, it taught us CPR while we ran around Town Lake every day. And so that's in there. It's a poem. It was like a sleeping in the station, warm in my bed, dreaming of my honey pillow over my head. That's how it starts, you know. But,
there you go.
Yeah, but it's in there. If you're a Boy Scout, firefighting is basically just professional Boy Scoutishness. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You have to get paid to learn knots. Well, I already knew them from being a Boy Scout, right?
Yeah.
But there are many readers. If you're thinking about being a firefighter, there's a little bit in there about a rescue or a near rescue in the middle of the book. Mm-hmm. That story is The Dive. It's actually a screenplay, but we're not going to go into details on that because I want it to hit the reader exactly like it hit me, without spoiling the story on that. But yeah, so each of these is a point that I changed afterwards and went forward, and so that's there, and it's about not giving up. There's some. I almost died 3 times in 3 of the deals in here, and it's about believing in God and staying on course, and having faith.
There you go. Having faith is so important. Well, these stories, what do you hope that people get from your stories in the book and what they're going to learn?
I hope they it's a message of redemption. Mm-hmm. It's a message of survival. And the gifts that AA was able to give me, it's there. They're there, and there's no actual disgrace in asking for help.
Yeah.
A lot of being wrong, you have to admit you're wrong. Is to enter the program, the very first, we admitted our life out of control from alcohol, or whatever that first step is, you have to do that. And the tendency for the world not to do it, you're looking at it right now. We got people that on certain subjects, they'd rather see you die than change their mind. And that's not right. That's not the America that we have. And my goal here, I lost a lot of my tribe. A lot of them supported some other things, and they hate me for my beliefs. Well, part of this is about finding my tribe again. And us being single a long time, if there's any ladies out there that like what this is, my number's in the book.
There you go.
Me. Yeah.
There you
go. But it's about finding common realities that we have to go forward with, because there's an erosion of the truth. Whether it's us doing it or them is debatable, but it's important that we group together. Also, you think there's been storms, they're coming. They're coming fast right now. And being a fireman isn't just about saving lives and putting out fires. It's also about warning danger. You got to do that as a fireman. And that's part of what I'm doing here. Now, you would not believe how much flack I've gotten trying to just warn people what I believe I see is coming. And so there's that.
Does it seem to you like it seems to a lot of us at this point that the weather is getting worse and things are getting, it seems like something's definitely going on, right?
Well, there are, and We have I have a podcaster after the Guadalupe. There were helicopters in the air during the Guadalupe disaster, and they got some footage that no one can explain involving plasma shooting directly into the river and water, like a bomb of some kind. That might explain Helene, because Helene melted 1,900. There were 1,900 landslides in Helene in North Carolina and Tennessee. We could not see what was going on during that, but we got a little bit of that footage on the Guadalupe. My opinion, it's close to that. We also have footage of Doppler radars actually guiding storms up wherever they want to go by firing off. And Matt, your radar actually causing the weather, that's pretty preposterous, but everybody needs to keep their eyes open and look and find out for yourself what you think.
There you go. So talk to us a little bit about your issues that you had with addiction and recovery. And you've been in recovery for a long time.
Yes, 14 years.
Congratulations.
Alcohol.
Congratulations.
Yes, well, people say congratulations, pal. It's like learning a magic trick. Okay. There's nothing to congratulate here. It's not hard. I enjoy it. It does affect my personal life, because that is how I kept my personal life rocking and rolling, was was through going out over and over again and getting intoxicated and coming back with, box of chocolates, never knowing what kind of relationship you're going to end up with that you met at the bar. And so they said, well, we didn't think you were that bad. I said, I wasn't. It was killing me. It was breaking my heart. I found out, hey, I'm an empath. Okay. So that puts a big target on you for all the narcissists out there. And if you're a shy empath, they're going to come say hi. Okay. And and that was something I learned as to how to still care, but actually how to maybe find other empaths instead of. So also our country is going through you think COVID was bad? This narcissistic behavior disorder is rampant, and it is enough to destroy. It already has destroyed a lot. Hollywood has actually been competitive narcissistic behavior disorder since longer than we know. But that's there to address, and I want people to see that. I have one Telegram channel called NSP Anon, which is Narcissistic, Sociopath, and Psychopath Anonymous, which helps people recognize those traits. And so we did some talks, some lives on it, and all of my stuff is good ideas, but I've not been one that cares whether more than 5 people see it. The need for me to say it is greater than my need to get validation through millions of people. But at this point, this book deserves more than that. And everything we can do to get through that. It has probably been, when you look at the books that they hand out like candy to some of these Becoming and Independent and 107 Days. I mean, my book is going to be the opposite of those, because it represents the opposite side of the bus, the opposite end of the football field. Okay. I have a list of people to run through at the end, but if you like Alex Jones, if you like Joe Rogan, if you like SG Anon, David Rodriguez, General Flynn, Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, you're going to like this. It's going to fit what you're looking for. And if you don't, I've written it in a way that doesn't challenge you too much, and I want you to still read it. Maybe we can get some more people back over here.
There you go. So as we go out, give people, we kind of did your final pitch there. As we go out, give people social media and where they can find you on the internet, how they can contact you, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, I'm Randall Crow at X, Randall Crow on Facebook, Randall Scott Crow on my Facebook public figure page, RC Anon on Telegram. In those right there, there's a number of ways to look at my stuff. I actually, on RCNI, when I read that poem I just ran to you, I was invited to go to the Trump rally in Conroe, got to sit with the VIPs like 30 feet from Trump, and got to meet Negative 48, Sovereign Redneck, and a whole bunch of the people that we hear on the Right Wing podcast. And this is my contribution to that whole effort, is to get that, but yeah. And let's see, there's a book by 107 called Kid Beside the Road, a coffee table book. And when he came out with that, I immediately wanted to put a coffee table book that would sit on the same coffee table. And David's got one called When the Lights Go Out. He wrote it on his phone. My encouragement to everybody, and first of all, firemen, y'all gonna look at me and go, "What are you doing?" And what I'm doing, you might like what I've written, but it's easy to write now. Everybody needs to do this. In the process of writing, it helped me remember more stuff. Elon Musk came out the other day and said, when they say these phones that we use them, the phones are using us because we can no longer remember phone numbers. Took that need away from us. Here's a way to combat that. You can use this phone to remember more by writing through it. So you can take this instrument, and I encourage every fireman, and I'll agree with you, your stories are better than mine. Okay, let's hear them.
Let's hear them. And everyone should tell their story. Well, it's been wonderful to have you on the show, Randall. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you for coming on.
Chris, thanks for having me. Your screener read my book the way I meant it to be read.
Yeah.
And after she told me that, I'm like, okay, I've got to do this because it wasn't, I think it's probably been suppressed personally, because it's just been online. It's been online worldwide. You can go on right now and get it on Amazon or
Amazon,
Barnes and Noble.
Books are sold. Well, thank you very much.
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
But we're hoping to get into bookstores.
There you go.
So thank you, sir.
Get them in those bookstores. And thank you, Randall. Order the book wherever fine books are sold. It was out December 6th, 2024. Quiet Before the Storm. Any future books you're working on, Randall? Any new things that should be coming out?
Yes. 100 Runs in the Austin Fire Department is not going to be a picture book. It's going to be 500 to 800 pages of the straight up stuff. And that's a working title right now. It may come down to AFD Journal or something along those lines. But it's coming. It's coming next, and there'll be one behind that.
There you go. Well, thank you very much for coming on. Thanks, John, for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, Chris Voss 1 on the TikTok and all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you guys next time.